Hey everybody, welcome to Talking Habs, and this is a News of the Day video. There's lots of stuff on the board, and we're going to get right to it without wasting much time. Now, I didn't do a News of the Day video yesterday. I really wanted to, but just things happened. And one of the big reasons was because it was the 23rd anniversary of the Montreal Canadiens' last Stanley Cup championship, and my son recently cleaning up his room, came across, and oddly enough, something that I had saved from that day. It was actually out the next day, and that's the Gazette story, Montreal Gazette paper. So that's the Stanley Cup championship win, and on it is the famous picture everybody must know of the. I used to have it up on my wall, but it had a glass frame and it fell and broke, so that's why you don't see it anymore. As soon as I can get either another one or I get that fixed, I'm going to do that. So this, I'm probably going to do a video on this. I'm trying to figure out how, but this is a special Stanley Cup section, and there's all kinds of stories and stuff, so I'm going to try to do a video. But I think it's really cool that my son found this for me, and yeah, I kept it from that last Stanley Cup win. Okay, so next up, 40 years ago today, so that's 1980, the Montreal Canadiens selected Doug Wickenheiser, #1 overall at the entry draft, instead of taking Denny Savard, which was a huge mistake in the long run. Now, nothing against Doug Wickenheiser. He was a good hockey player, but he suffered a lot of kind of, I think, verbal and mental abuse. I don't know, but abuse for that, because Denny Savard went on to have a great career, and Doug Wickenheiser was an NHLer, but I mean, he wasn't a Denny Savard. So that was 40 years ago today. It was announced yesterday, I believe, also that Shea Weber is Montreal's candidate for the Bill Masterton Trophy. So that's, let me get my stuff here. Bill Masterton, I wasn't sure, but it was what I thought, but I just want to make sure. I'm going to now read it. For perseverance, sportsmanship, and dedication to hockey. Also, I didn't write it there, I should have, former Montreal Canadiens Jarred Tinordi, who's now a member of the Nashville Predators, and a number of years before he actually made it back to the NHL, he was also nominated. Thing is that it looks like Weber has a good chance to be one of the top three, if not even win it. So I don't think Tinordi has much of a chance, but he was nominated. But Weber has definitely a chance. Also announced yesterday, Jeff Molson did an interview somewhere. I'm not sure where this came from, but this is from Jeff Molson. They're looking to have a Habs third jersey because the fans are asking for one. He said it wouldn't happen this season, but probably next season there'll be a Habs third jersey. There's been a lot of speculation about it, and I don't know if it's an official jersey, but I've seen it on Twitter many times. Max Domi wearing a blue instead of all red. Like the home uniform is mostly red with some blue stripe and all that stuff. It's the opposite. It's with blue and white. It kind of looks a lot like the Toronto colors, but I think it's really sharp, and that's kind of jersey. I would really like that to be the jersey. But they're announcing that it should happen next season. Jeff Molson also says no to hiring a president of hockey operations. Been a big rumor. A lot of people think that it's necessary that they bring in someone like it's been Vincent Damphousse has been named brought up a lot. Saku Koivu. So that's president of hockey operations, which would mean Marc Bergevin would report to him. He'd be Marc Bergevin's boss. But he said no to that. He has a lot of faith in Marc Bergevin, and I kind of wanted them to do it, but I think I saw somebody made a good point on Twitter about more than likely, since it's 8 years already into Marc Bergevin's tenure, you're not going to bring in a guy like that unless you're planning to have Bergevin leave or you're firing him. So until Marc Bergevin's tenure is done, I don't think they're going to bring in a president of hockey operations, but I do think so afterwards. So whenever that is, I think they will bring in somebody eventually. But he said no to Vincent Damphousse and Saku Koivu, but that might actually be a good move. It's not. I think Bob McKenzie is out there quoted as saying that it's not that important to have one, so he thinks it's fine. So there you go. That's an opinion. Spinorama. Speaking of Denny Savard, although Serge Savard has started that, Habs will find a way to honor Andrei Markov, and that's also according to Jeff Molson. He didn't specify what that means, but I think if he's saying it worded like that, so it doesn't mean they're not going to retire his number. I don't think. I don't think they're going to do that early when there's other players that need to be retired. But they're going to honor him in some way. That's what he says. They're going to try to find a way. It's not like necessarily, oh, this is 100% going to happen, and I don't know how they're going to do it, but that's what he said. Pierre LeBrun is reporting that a new CBA agreement could happen before they play any more games. So if they're playing games, I mean, if he's thinking that any more games, and he's saying before next games are played, I forget how he worded it exactly. They might be playing games in August. So is he talking that they are working on an agreement right now, which is what the news that's out there is saying, that they are working on that, the NHL and the NHLPA, and hopefully they'll come up with an agreement. Let me see now. I wrote it there. An extension, question mark, an extension with some changes. I talked about this probably a couple of weeks ago, and I said I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to make a few adjustments to it and give it an extension, and this was rumored, and it looks like that's what's going to happen. So that would be great if they do that, because, quite frankly, they cannot afford either a strike or a lockout, considering everything that's going on, considering the fact that their stature, or is that the word I'm looking for, in like the major sports leagues in North America, they're on the bottom with soccer, and probably soccer might even be higher. And they can't afford to have something that looks that bad happen, especially right after this. So, yeah, I hope they'll have an extension. I had heard originally maybe 10-year extension, but that's probably hoping for too much. But at least an extension for the next few years, so that, Seattle can come into the league without any stoppage. It's what I think they're going to work out. So that's actually really good. Next up, actually on the board to look, Habs hockey stick contest. Yes, I read about this today. There's a Habs hockey stick contest. I don't have all the details except to say go to NHL.com. I don't know if the page is Go Habs Go, or it's just a Habs page on NHL.com. Now, I got this in an email, and I clicked on for the details. You take an old hockey stick, do something creative with it, picture, video, whatever, you send it to them. You could win a hockey stick signed by all the Montreal Canadiens 2019-20, and second prize, I think, is a $250 gift card somewhere. So the Habs hockey stick contest, anybody interested in doing that? If you have a broken hockey stick and you're creative, hey, why not enter it? So I thought I'd bring that to you. Next up, hub cities in Canada. It's a new country, Canada. Canada. Don't even know how to spell my own country. So, okay. Bettman has already come out and said they want 2 hub cities, one in the east, one for the Eastern Conference, one for the Western Conference. So that means one in Canada, one in the U.S., basically. That's what. So now Vancouver, Edmonton, and Toronto are in the running still. The sticking point is the Canadian government says you come into Canada, you got to quarantine, self-quarantine for 2 weeks. It could be trouble for players returning for the training camps, and if maybe there's some back and forth. So they're trying to get an exemption. They're promising that the players will be kind of living in a bubble. Vancouver's got a proposal I just read about, so that they would be housed in hotels there. They have everything they can do kind of in a bubble. Their families can join them. They stay in the bubble. They'll be tested all the time, and they'd like to have an exemption on that 14-day self-quarantine, basically like they're essential workers coming into Canada. So apparently there's going to be an announcement maybe as soon as, could be tomorrow or at the end of next week, about what the hub cities will be. So that moves on to I believe the next story is Calgary, Edmonton, and Vancouver. I know Calgary, I saw the Calgary announcement, and I read today Edmonton and Vancouver have also announced that if there are no hub cities in Canada, that they will probably go and find training facilities in the U.S. to do their training camps. And I have a feeling maybe all 7, or is there 7 Canadian teams? All the Canadian teams may end up doing that, because once they get there, they can have the camps. If there's any kind of quarantining having to be done, it'll all be done before the start of the season, playoffs and play-ins. And yeah, so that was rumored of like last week, and now like at the end of last week. And I think I heard it from the hockey guy, and now they're announcing that they're thinking of doing that. So So that's pretty good. I think it makes sense. I think you're there already at least, and if they can find facilities, and I'm sure they can. The NHL and the NHLPA have officially set July 10th as the hopeful start for Phase 4. So Phase 4 is when they actually... No, Phase 3. Did I put 4? I shouldn't. See, I'm... can't spell Canada and can't get the phases right. So Phase 3 is the start of training camps. And it's been announced that... I think it was rumored already that it would be July 10th. Been kind of rumored that, okay, it's going to be early July. It's been announced officially. They put out a statement that it'll be July 10th. And let me see what I wrote here. So they'll open. It's subject to change based on health and safety conditions, obviously. So it's a month away, and things could change. That they will be allowed or won't be allowed, or whatever the rules could change. But they're setting that as their hopeful start for training camps. So that means, and there's still some negotiations that have to happen between the NHL and NHLPA before that happens, July 10th. And then Phase 4 set to start at a to-be-determined date. But I'm kind of figuring if they can get it started for the training camps on July 10th, you've got to look like it's probably a month down the road for the games to start, if it works out. So mid-August. So I'm saying mid-August for any games to start at the earliest. That's if there's no problems and there's no delays and all that. That's what I'm thinking. So now in Canada, the problem with the Habs, I don't know why I wrote it for this part of it, but they have to self-quarantine for 14 days. So, that's why. So if the training camps are going to open July 10th, any teams that are having their camps in Canada, the players need to get here by June 26th. Unless there's a negotiation that makes them exempt from that, they need to be here by June 26th in order to be able to take part first day of training camps. Okay, last but not least is a very important one. It's not last for any other reason than it's about hockey, but more about what's going on with all the demonstrations. So the Hockey Diversity Alliance. The Hockey Diversity Alliance has been created to eradicate racism and intolerance in hockey and at all levels of hockey. It's headed by Akim Aliu and Evander Kane. You can remember Akim Aliu, he was part of actually getting this started with hockey last year with the big coaches saying what the kind of stuff that was said to him. That's the guy. And and Evander Kane. And the executive committee will include Trevor Daley, Matt Dumba, Wayne Simons, Chris Stewart, and Joel Ward, all NHLers or former NHLers, all people of color. And so this is an organization independent of the NHL, although they will be working with the NHL and all the minor leagues and everything, apparently. So it's through all of hockey, literally for everyone. And it's to promote hockey slogan that says hockey is for everyone, and they want to make sure that it is for everyone. And I think it's about time that they're really taking seriously the any racism in hockey. There should be no racism in hockey. A player is a player. That's it. He's on your team, you like him. He's on another team, you don't. But you don't dislike anybody because of the color of their skin or where they were born. I mean, that's just ridiculous. A good hockey player is a hockey player. That's it. And they're going to try to get that frame of mind, I guess, to everybody, which is about time. It's about time for all of this stuff to happen. It really is. It's just about time. And, it's about time in hockey, too. So that's the Hockey Diversity Alliance. I wish them a lot of luck. And I think it's the time now to make change. And it's going to happen. So there you go. That's my News of the Day video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give a thumbs up. While you're doing that, you can give any comments. The comment section is going to be down there too. About any of this stuff, what you think about these stories, my opinions on the stories, what is your opinion on any of these stories, do that in the comment section. I'd appreciate that. And if you haven't subscribed already, and you're down there doing that, hit the subscribe and ring that notifications bell. That's going to get you your daily fix of Blue, Blanc, Rouge right here at Talkin' Habs. And I guess that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please stay safe out there. So stay safe from the virus. Masks when you go out, go into stores especially. Please wear a mask. Wash your hands a lot. And do what you got to do. And stay safe in the States and everywhere where there's protests, all over the world, actually. Just stay safe, and yeah, you got to watch my next video, so I need you to stay safe. So thanks for watching. Peace out, y'all. See you next video.